off a daily fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit a buy, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor, and we're going to go over our Fanduel and Draftkings NBA slate for Monday, August 10th. It's another 5-game slate, pretty typical for what's been happening for these seeding games. More playoff positioning was determined today. We already know in the Eastern Conference, in the first round, the 1-seed Milwaukee Bucks will be playing the 8-seeded Orlando Magic. There's no 8-9 play-in there because Washington finished more than 4 games behind Orlando. Brooklyn's the 7-seed. Brooklyn has been very good in this restart, which is crazy. I think they have the 3rd best record of all the teams in the restart. It's something fucking insane like that. But they're playing Toronto in the first round. First things first, I'd like to thank you all. A big cheers to you all. Thank you for all your support. I really do appreciate it. All the kind words. Even after, I'm a little ranty, if you will, last night. Probably wasn't the nicest. I guess I don't necessarily mean to be that way. So if I was over the top for some of you, I do apologize for that. But we're going to have fun. There's going to be nights like that. We're going to have some fun and vent some stuff out. And I appreciate all the kind words and the support from all of you. All the likes on the video, that helps more than you know. So I appreciate you guys hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I appreciate all you new subscribers as well. Thank you all so much. It's been very, very humbling. I'll tell you what, it's very gratifying. Was kind of nervous about how everything would go with everything restarting, and it's been nothing but exceeded my expectations. So thank you all. Seriously, a big cheers to you all. It's all because of you guys that I'm able to do this and that I'm staying up till midnight and getting up at 4 or 5 a.m. to go over it's just, I appreciate you all. So thank you all so much. Also, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment in the comment section. You qualify for our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. And we're going to announce that winner right now. Before I forget, Fight Island. Congratulations. Hit me up on Twitter, in my DMs, etc. Give me that PayPal information. We'll get that shot right over to you. That's what she said. Hopefully you're a good shot. You don't want to miss and cause pink eye. But seriously, congratulations to you. And again, that's all you have to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. And subscribing to the channel and liking the video really does help more than you guys know. So thank you all so much for all doing that. I really appreciate it. Hit that bell icon. We'll have a WNBA video for Tuesday. I realized kind of late today. I have family in town. Played a beautiful golf course today. Got some nice relaxation today. That WNBA is actually playing tomorrow. They typically don't play on Mondays, so it was kind of surprising. But Dion and I will be back at it tomorrow night. We'll get WNBA out for you as well. Of course, tons of NFL content when it comes back. I'll be covering handicapping the NFL over at sportsbookreview.com, a beautifully produced show. It's going to have an awesome co-host on that show, Donnie Seymour and I. I'm really excited about that. And if you're betting anything, soccer, tennis, baseball, Korean baseball, basketball, Jam and J Money's over there making money. My boy Gordon Watson, soccer, Flash Gordon, a great group of guys over there. So be sure to check all of them out over at sportsbookreview.com. Gary Seegers and Chris, hopefully doing college football. We'll have to see. Kind of didn't see encouraging news today for college football, which is kind of a bummer. For sports fans. Of course, we want everyone to be safe and happy and healthy, and I hope you all are as well. Also, I haven't been doing many baseball videos just because so many games have been postponed, canceled, and then weather. It's been so unpredictable that half the information we would give out in the morning doesn't mean anything by the time the games come around. But I always have a player pool set. There's great research tools here on Draft Dashboard for it. You can get all the research tools for basketball, baseball, football, hockey, as well as the player pool I'm going to use for the upcoming slate. And I always have that updated to make sure that no one's on that player pool who's been scratched from the game. If you knew how many times a day I go into the house and then back out to the office because a player got called out for any of the sports, but especially baseball, I mean, it's like 40 times a day. I do my best to stay up on that. If you want access to that tool, my player pool, etc., you can click that link in the video description below, and you can try out Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. Line up all the research. It's very handy. Like for basketball, for example, you have hit percentages, so it tells you what percentage of the time players at that price, the player at that particular price would hit 5 times value at that price all season long. Usage, history versus team, minutes, DVP, pace of each team, the over-under totals for the games, for baseball, all of that, just all that stuff. It's very, very handy using the lineup optimizer, the mass lineup generator, the late swap optimizer. If you have a late scratch, you can upload your lineups and re-optimize and put them back in. All sorts of stuff there, so be sure to try that out as well. I think that's everything. Also, news and updates, of course. I try to stay on top of that throughout the day. You can follow me over there on Twitter at DFS Bachelor. So let's start a point guard here. You got Chris Paul at the top, 7-5 on Fanduel, 8-2 on Draftkings. He's been playing well. He's certainly in play against the Phoenix team who's 24th against point guards. Really, the problem for me is this is their third game in 4 days, and then they play again on Wednesday. They played Friday. Yeah, they played Friday, today, and they're playing again tomorrow, Monday, or today, depending on when you watch this video. If you're on the East Coast, it's already Tuesday. So, like, when you look at the playoff situation in the Western Conference, Oklahoma City's a game back of Houston for the 4 seed. Now, we know 4 or 5, it doesn't matter. There's no home court advantage, so that doesn't matter. They could, I guess, mathematically fall down to the 6 seed, and they would face Denver right now, who's only a game back of the Clippers. So I don't, like, we've talked about it and gotten some grief for it, whatever, but there's not really much at stake in these games other than maybe trying to stay sharp for the postseason, which starts on the 17th. I know I had said in previous videos that the regular season ends on Wednesday. It actually ends Friday. For some reason I thought Wednesday was the 15th. I had my days just completely discombobulated, but Friday the 15th is the last day of these play-in seeding games, and then the playoffs start August 17th. So that's my bad on that. But nonetheless, there's not really a lot to play for right now. Third game in 4 days, veteran point guard, an Oklahoma City team that certainly has a talent to at least make a push into the second round. So I'm a little iffy on that. Really, the teams that are battling for playoff positioning right now, New Orleans and Sacramento have been eliminated. So Phoenix, San Antonio, Portland, and Memphis are 8, 9, 10, and 11. Phoenix and San Antonio need to win their last 2 games, or 3, and then have Memphis and Portland lose. Right now, it looks like it's going to be a Memphis and Portland 8-9 play-in series. Again, the 8 seed has to win once. The 9 seed has to win twice for that last spot for the shot at playing the Lakers in the first round. That's their reward. So, these other teams, there's not really a whole bunch to play for. The Lakers have the 1 seed locked in. So I worry a little bit about Chris Paul there. Toronto, we talked about it. Kyle Lowry in Toronto's locked into the 2 seed. You can see his minutes. He hasn't been, he only played 27 minutes the last game. They might give him one more tune-up game. So I'll consider him at 6-8 on FanDuel. There's no way I'm paying the 8-6, 8-7 price on DraftKings. You could see on FanDuel at that price all year, you'd hit 5 times value 75% of the time. At his price on DraftKings, only 49% of the time. Much better value for Kyle Lowry on FanDuel. And again, Toronto's locked in playing Brooklyn round 1. They couldn't have asked for anything better. You'd much rather play Brooklyn than Orlando. Orlando's got way more talent than Brooklyn does. Malcolm Brogdon. So tomorrow, it's the Indiana-Miami matchup. The matchup everyone wants to see is Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren. Obviously, they do not like each other. Well, TJ Warren is questionable for tomorrow. The Pacers right now are in a dead heat with Miami. These are the 4 and 5 seeds in the conference. They're locked into each other there. And then Philly's a game back of them in the 6th seed. If TJ Warren's going to sit, they're playing Malcolm Brogdon 34 and 39 minutes the last couple of games. He's 6'7 and 6'9. I like the price. This could be their final little tune-up thing. Maybe they ease back the rest of the week. These two teams don't like each other. I like Malcolm Brogdon. I like his price. Jamal Murray came back, and he came back with a vengeance. He was questionable. Then he will play. Then they played him 39 damn minutes. So, now the Lakers are tough defensively. LeBron and AD are scheduled to play tomorrow, as is Caruso. He put up a 49 his last time out against the Lakers. If you look at his last three, a 44, an 18, and a 49. He's 6'5 and 7'1. I can go Jamal Murray. Phoenix certainly has something to play for. They're trying to stay alive in that playoff mix against Oklahoma City. So Ricky Rubio at 6'4 and 6'5 on DraftKings. I could go there. Mike Conley, Utah, is right now the 6th seed. They could move up to the 5 seed. Now, would you rather be the 6th seed right now and play Denver in the first round, or move up to the 5 seed and play Houston? I think I'd rather play Denver than Houston, although with Michael Porter Jr. coming along, Jamal Murray getting healthy. We don't know if Gary Harris or Will Barton will be ready for the postseason. I think they probably will be. They're just kind of taking it easy with them. But Michael Porter Jr. has really given that team another dynamic. He's up to 8K. Wait till we get to him. He's in the 8,000s now. Think about that. When these playing games started, on the 30th, so 10 days ago, he was near minimum salary. It's been a huge jump. So, I think I'd still rather play Denver. I think most teams would. So, Mike Conley, 6'3", 6'1" on DraftKings. I could go there. For Dallas is going to be very, very shorthanded tomorrow. No Luka Doncic, no Kristaps Porzingis, no Dorian Finney-Smith. All three been ruled out for tomorrow for Dallas. So, it's an easier matchup. So, that's why I could go to Conley. Eric Bledsoe, I think they're trying to get him to game shape. Look, Milwaukee's just been playing their guys. I know I keep talking about it like I don't know why they would. It doesn't make any damn sense to me. But if they're going to use this as maybe their final dress rehearsal, then rest their guys the next couple of games the rest of the week. Eric Bledsoe, they said they're going to increase his minutes limit. He played 30 minutes, put up a 25. He's 5,400 on DraftKings. He'd hit value 64% of the time at that price. So I could certainly go there. Goran Dragic is back tomorrow for Miami. Again, Kendrick Nunn is gone. He left the bubble. Now he's back in the bubble, but he has to quarantine before he can play. You getting Dragic at 4-9 on DraftKings without Kendrick Nunn? Sure. Now it's his first game back from that ankle injury. Sprained ankle, but sprained ankles happen and they come back. How much they use him, we'll have to see. But Dragic is a tournament play off the bench. Some value guys under here real quick. Aaron Holiday at 4-6, especially if TJ Warren misses. He'll probably continue to start. He plays 34, 37, 34 minutes. Now, he can go out there and get you a 17 and 37 minutes, no doubt about it. And he can also get you a 35 and 34 minutes. So there you go. Now, Miami fourth against point guards. Jimmy Butler will be back. That certainly helps their perimeter defense. 23 and 34 his last two against Miami. I don't mind Aaron Holiday. Monty Morris still, even with Jamal Murray back, they're still so thin in the backcourt with, Barton. He's more of a small forward. Barton, Gary Harris out. So he still played 28 minutes when Jamal Murray played 39. He's 4K and 4-3. Alex Caruso should see plenty of minutes. He's 3-7 on DraftKings. George Hill is 3-7 on DraftKings, 3-9 on Fanduel. Jevion Carter's been getting minutes for Phoenix. Played 26 and 21 minutes the last two games. Now, typically, he's not a huge point producer. He did have kind of a blow-up game where he put up 35 in his last outing. He's 3-3 on DraftKings, I guess, if you want to take a dart throw there. I think Trey Burke for Dallas has a real opportunity to play some minutes with Finney-Smith, Kristaps, and Luka Doncic out. They're going to need some scoring. So guys like Trey Burke and Gulp, I saw some comments in the comment section how Tim Hardaway screwed everyone, and Tim Hardaway's, he's known for doing that. He likes to screw people over. But he's also going to have some upside tomorrow and a ton of usage because they're going to need scoring. He's 3-7 on both sides. Trey Burke, I could go there. Seth Curry, same situation there in Dallas. I'll pass on Quinn Cook with Caruso and LeBron and everyone playing. I'll pass on Quinn Cook. Not one of my favorite players. That's it for point guards. Let's go to shooting guards. At shooting guard. Sorry if you guys could hear me drink that. I feel like my mic is loud. I don't mean to gross you all out there. Devin Booker. Now, Oklahoma City, second in the league against shooting guards. 31 and a 26 in his last two. Does have a 55 sprinkled in there against OKC. Again, Phoenix has everything to play for. If they're trying to figure out a way to get to that 8 seed, a win tomorrow would come a long way in doing that. 8-2 and 8-7, I could go there. Donovan Mitchell, they're talking about he's been dealing with this lower leg strain. He was dealing with that. He's missed a game. Then he came back and played 47 minutes in that double overtime game on Saturday. 7-7 FanDuel, 8-1 on DraftKings. again against a shorthanded Dallas team. Now, I'm always nervous about Donovan Mitchell because, he's got this huge upside, of course. He's supremely talented, but he can also go out and get you a 16, which he's done against Dallas. You can see his last 5 against Dallas, 45, 45, 43, and also a 16 and a 22. And that's the story of Donovan Mitchell right there in a nutshell. Jimmy Butler, I think, is too cheap, especially if TJ Warren plays and a little bit injured. TJ Warren plays. Jimmy Butler wants revenge. He's 7-5 on Fanduel, 7-2 on Draftkings. Now, I know he sat out the last couple of games with that foot issue, but I expect that they want him to be into game shape, even if he has a mediocre game in the mid-30s. Look, his last 4 against the Pacers, a 36, a 39, a 29, and a 54. He's too cheap. Jimmy Butler's too cheap tomorrow. Middleton, I'm not paying 7-2 and 7-8 for him. I'll pay in the 6s. I understand he's got the upside. He's played really well in his last couple of games, but I think it's too expensive. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I keep waiting for him to have a breakout game in this bubble, and all he keeps doing is pissing me off, especially with an 18 the other night. So, I mean, he'll be in my player pool. Will I have a ton of exposure to him? No. 44 and 31 his last couple of games against Phoenix. Fred VanVleet, like the price for him on FanDuel at 6-8. 7-3 on DraftKings against a tough, long Milwaukee defense. You can see his last 5, nothing more than a 29, so I think it's a little iffy for Fred VanVleet. Victor Oladipo, especially if TJ Warren misses. I'm really encouraged to see Oladipo playing 31 and 34 minutes the last 2 games. He's 5'8 on both sides. He's got legit upside. Would be the focal point of the offense if TJ Warren's not there. I could certainly go to Oladipo. I like it a lot more if Warren's out. Tyler Hero. So, obviously, he's benefited the last couple of games with both Dragic and Butler out, and then Kendrick Nunn missing the last one, so he's played 33 and 35 minutes. With Butler and Dragic back, he won't play as many minutes, but Kendrick Nunn is still gone. And we've seen Tyler Hero can get hot in a hurry. I really loved him as a value play the last couple of slates. A lot of people have been happy with that pick. He's 5-1 and 5-3 now. It's a little more iffy. 24 or 28 in his last couple of games against the Pacers. It's definitely more iffy. Norman Powell, I think, is someone who could be interesting. Coming off the bench, if OG Anunoby struggles, or maybe they're just sort of, playing their starters half the time, Norman Powell has big-time upside. Now, has he been doing it in the restart? No. He's played 29, 21, and 29 minutes the last 3 games and scored 16, 16, and 19. That's not getting it done. But we have seen Norman Powell go off for 50 burgers. We have seen it. At 4-4, if he gets a few extra minutes or he gets hot from the field, 4-5, I think he's an interesting tournament low-owned value play. Duncan Robinson, again, very 3-point scoring dependent. I like him more on DraftKings because he's a 3-point shooter. He's had 3 pretty solid games, 29, 21, and 38. Iguodala, 30, 30, and 28 in his last 3. We've sort of been talking about him. He's playing a bunch of minutes. Is he going to keep the same minute load up with Butler and Dragic back? Are they going to save him for the postseason? GPP only. And real quickly, we'll go over some more value guys. We'll see minutes. Of course, Jordan Clarkson. He's 4-4 FanDuel. 5K DraftKings. I'll pass on that. But 4-4 on FanDuel. Did put up a 44 his last time against Dallas. Might see a little bit of Delon Wright. He's all the way down at 3-3 on DraftKings. I know he's only playing in the mid to high teens, but he can get you 25 at 3-3. I don't think that's terrible. Dante DiVincenzo, maybe. I don't really like playing him all that much. Torrey Craig's going to continue to see a bunch of minutes at the 2 guard if Gary Harris and Will Barton are out. He's 4K and 4-3. Hamidou Diallo, Danny Green, I think is probable for tomorrow. So I guess at 3-2 on DraftKings, I could consider that. Denver is tough defensively, but without Gary Harris there, they're not as good defensively. Some guys will see some minutes. Pat Connaughton's 3-2 on DraftKings. I could consider that, especially if Milwaukee's going to let their bench have some minutes. If he plays 20 minutes, I like Pat Connaughton at 3-2. Now, he can go out and get you 5, so there's risk there. Lugens Dort, he's going to play a shit ton of minutes. Again, he's not going to ever score you in the 30s, but he's got 21 or above in 4 out of his last 5. So he's probably an okay cash game type salary saver if you want to go there. Wesley Matthews, never, ever, ever. Yep, that's it. Let's go to small forwards. So, small forward, Giannis. Uh, Listen, he's played over 30 minutes the last two games. He has a great history against Toronto, by the way. 53, 78, and 59 in his last three. If they kind of use this as a final dress rehearsal, maybe the next game they do that with as well. If he plays 30 minutes, he's in play. Now, again, at 11K, you need him to score in the 60s. 10-6 DraftKings. So I don't think I'll have a ton of exposure there, but some. It's only a 5-game slate. LeBron against Denver. He's probable for tomorrow. They've been playing him over 30 minutes, him and Anthony Davis. I don't think it makes any damn sense. I know they want to keep him sharp and get these guys into shape, but if LeBron James plays and his 33rd minute falls down and twists his ankle or, tears an ACL, their season's done. It's over. And so, I don't know what Frank Vogel's doing. I'm a Laker fan. I want LeBron playing 20 minutes. Just get him out there, keep him loose. Again, these guys don't have much to do. They're at the bubble. They're in the bubble, so maybe they're just like, dude, we have nothing better to fucking do than play basketball, which, I can understand that as well. 9.6 price tag on Fanduel. I'll probably take a shot. A 64 his last time out against Denver. At his price on both Fanduel and DraftKings this year, if he was those prices all year long, he would have hit 5 times value 68 and 70% of the time. We talked about TJ Warren. Now, he and Jimmy Butler do not get along. We know all about that, and TJ Warren went absolutely bananas the last time, and his price is way up, but he's questionable tomorrow. We'll have to see if they rush him back. We've seen how cautious they've been with Oladipo, with Brogdon. Sabonis still hasn't played. Pascal Siakam, I'll totally pass on that. He just hasn't been the same player since this bubble restart happened. He's had a couple okay games. Milwaukee plays him really tough. They're locked into the 2 seed. Nick Nurse is a smart coach. I do think that he'll limit some of his starters. That's why I think Norman Powell's kind of interesting. Gallinari just doesn't play enough minutes for me. He does have some nice history against Phoenix. In fact, his last 5 against Phoenix, all of them were 30 and above. He's 5'3" on Fanduel, so maybe I could sprinkle him in there. Probably not at the 6.2 price on DraftKings. Joe Ingles. If Donovan Mitchell were to rest with that injury or something, I suppose. 5'2", he put up a 34. That was in 45 minutes, though. Cameron Johnson's all the way up at 5K. He's been a value guy we've been talking about nearly every video. Now he's starting to get priced up just a little bit. Steven Adams is questionable tomorrow. Missed the last couple of games over the weekend with that lower leg issue that took him out of the game on Friday. Ended up coming back in. He went out of the game before that with the lower leg, came back in, then sat out the last 2, Friday and Sunday. So it could be a little bit easier in the front court for Cameron Johnson. We've seen the 40-point upside out of him, 39 and 35 in 2 of his last 4 games. Now we're at Tim Hardaway Jr. He's played 72 minutes over the last 2 games and scored 21 fantasy points. So I understand the frustration with him totally. Utah is 9th against shooting guards. If you look at his last 3 against Utah, it's kind of funny. In fact, you looked at his last 5. So he's got 3 games at 40, 33, and 44 versus this team. And he's got 2 games at a 19 and 18. So it just really depends on your risk tolerance. I'm going to play him. I'm going to put him in. Because all I see right now are comments pissed at Tim Hardaway. First and last time I'll play him, etc. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I completely understand the frustration. But for me, scared money doesn't make money. And if no one's going to play him at 4-9 with 40-point upside in a game with no Luka Doncic, no Kristaps Porzingis, and no Dorian Finney-Smith, if he's going to be a full go, they got to score somehow. So I'll give him a shot there. 5-6 on DraftKings gives me a little bit more pause. Michael Bridges, 4-8 Fanduel, 4-9 DraftKings. Look, he's going to give you all the minutes you can handle. The question is, can he get there? So his last 5 against OKC. His last 2 were terrible, a 12 and a 6. But before that, 34, 35, and a 28. I'll take a shot there. Jay Crowder could be okay. It's like a safer, lower price guy at 4-4 and 4-7. OG Anunoby. Here's the thing. Every time I'm like, okay, I'm done with the OG Anunoby shit. Then he goes out and puts up like a 65. We've fucking seen him do it before. He's 4-2 and 4-8. It's not the best of matchups for him. If they're trying to compete in this game, they're going to need his length and his defense, dealing with Giannis and Middleton, etc. He's put up a 24 and a 29 his last 2. But I think I'll probably pass. Dion Waiters didn't even play the last game for the Lakers. Justin Holiday. If TJ Warren's out, you might see Justin Holiday start. If he starts at 3-6 and 3-8, I could take a chance there. Some other guys will see some minutes. Not a ton of upside here, though. Darius Baisley, Derek Jones, I guess. Justin Jackson could see a few more minutes for Dallas tomorrow with all the front court, with Porzingis and Finney-Smith out. I've played Justin Jackson before when he played in Sacramento and literally gotten a negative 2.5 out of him. My boy Rhyme Stranger, my boy Eric, who I haven't seen in a while or heard from in a while. I wonder how he's doing, actually. He fucking hates Justin Jackson. It's pretty funny. Anthony Davis, 9-2 on Fanduel, 9-9 on Draftkings. Listen, it's as cheap as you're ever going to get Anthony Davis. It's really cheap. Vogel insists on playing him this 30 to 35 minute range. Now, his last 3 games, only a 25, a 32, and a 32. I don't think he's going all that hard. That's what she said. And I can understand why. 58 and 54 his last couple against Denver. I'll take some tournament, risk on him. Again, Kristaps Porzingis is out tomorrow. He's been ruled out. Michael Porter Jr., 8K on FanDuel, 7-7 on DraftKings. It's a lot, but they're playing this kid a ton of minutes, and he is really, really showing up. Like, he's going to be the steal of that draft. I know he's been hurt and hadn't been doing much and all of that, but my goodness, this kid is special. He's really, really good. It's a tough matchup against the Lakers. Lakers are a great defensive team. I mean, his last 4 games overall, 56, 49, 53, and 47. It's absolutely outrageous. So he's justified being that pricey. I do not like the matchup against the Lakers. I'll say that. They're second against power forward, small forward. It's going to be tough. Bam. Against the Pacers. Allow the 5th most fantasy points in the league to opposing centers. That's what Bam is. I know FanDuel has him listed as a power forward. He's actually been starting at power forward, and they've been starting Kelly Olynyk at center. 44 and a 38 his last couple of games against Miami. Of course, his usage will go down a little bit. You can see the last 3 games. Look at his usage rate for Bam. This is a guy who's a point forward center. I mean, kind of like Jokic a little bit in a way. He can do so many things, Bam can. He can defend on the perimeter. Terrific perimeter defender for a big man. Kind of reminds you of Tristan Thompson in those finals against Golden State. How he could go out and guard those guards on the perimeter and make life tough on them. That's a lot like Bam Adebayo. 30, 29, and 31% usage rate the last 3 games. It's very impressive. If he stays out of foul trouble and plays 30 minutes, he's got 50-point upside. He's 7-9 on both sides. Then we're like this 5-1 and below. Like Kuzma, sure, he'll play some minutes. I don't like that price for him. He has a hit percentage of 38 and 40. Royce O'Neal. This is someone I have to eat a little crow on because I'm not a big Royce O'Neal guy. But my goodness, his last 3 games played 38, 31, and a 30. He's 5K and 4-8 against the Dallas team that'll be thin in the front court. He could be an interesting play tomorrow. Jeremy Grant played 46 minutes the other day. I mean, my goodness. Now, again, Paul Millsap was out resting that game. Oklahoma City could be very thin in the front court. He left the game with or actually missed the game with that ankle, and they might be without Steven Adams as well. So if they're without Nerlens Noel and Steven Adams, then it's going to, the Patrick Pattersons and is Patrick Patterson still there? Or he's with the Clippers, right? I got to remember who all these backups for Dallas are in the front court. Ed Davis. That's with Utah. That's Utah. Shit, I'm just drawing a blank right now. But Maxi Kleber, for Dallas, but I was thinking Oklahoma City. Yeah, it's going to be, who the hell is it going to be? Mike Muscala. He's been coming back from the concussion. I mean, this is what we're talking about here. Darius Baisley, of course, he's started a couple times at the 4, and Lugens Dort. And I mean, it could be really thin in that Oklahoma City front court, and they're not really going to care. Maxi Kleber should probably get the start without Porzingis there. He's got some 30-point upside at 4-7 on FanDuel, 4-2 on DraftKings. I could go there. Serge Ibaka's 4-6 FanDuel. 5-1 DraftKings, I'll probably pass. Paul Millsap should be back and ready to play. Now, his minutes are just being hurt by the emergence of Jeremy Grant, number 1, but Michael Porter Jr., number 2. I will say this, that's a low price for Paul Millsap on FanDuel at 4-3. I could take a shot there. Saric at 3-9 and 4-6. I think that's it for me at power. George Niang, if for some reason you hear Utah is going to rest Rudy Gobert or maybe rest another starter like a Royce O'Neal or something, George Niang could see some minutes off the bench, I suppose. Let's go to center. Get the hell out of here. So you got Jokic against the Lakers. Lakers are the best team in the league against centers. They can throw Dwight at you, JaVale McGee, Anthony Davis. They even have Markieff Morris who can, kind of push him back off the block. 8.5's cheap. It is cheap. So is 9-1. 53 is last time out against the Lakers. I don't like playing centers against the Lakers. Rudy Gobert against Dallas. No Porzingis. Again, it's going to be like Maxi Kleber and everyone else we talked about. Maybe Mike. It's just some Ed Davis. Ed Davis is with Utah. Man, I keep getting that mixed up. But he's 7-8 on Fanduel, 7-6 on DraftKings. Dallas 22nd against opposing centers. I think Rudy Gobert is solid for 40 tomorrow. Ayton against OKC, especially if Steven Adams is out. Yes, 7-7, 8K. Again, Phoenix has something to play for, so sign me up. Then it's a big drop-off. We got Miles Turner against Miami. Probably pass on that. If TJ Warren's out, a little bit more usage for him, I suppose. Doesn't really play well against this Miami front court. 36 and 35 are the highest 2 games in the last 5. We talked about the Steven Adams situation. Brook Lopez has been absolutely on fire. Look at Brook Lopez's last 4 games. 38, 45, 33, and 48. Now, Toronto with Marc Gasol back, they're number 2 against opposing centers. It's not the easiest of matchups. Does have a 38, 2 of his last 3 games against Toronto. I probably will never pay the 6K price that he's at on FanDuel, but on DraftKings at 5.3, one of the few players that's a much better value on DraftKings, I could certainly go there. Kelly Olynyk's been red hot. 4 straight games of 23 or more. 3 of those games, 30 or more. He's still 4-6 on FanDuel. He's 5-1 on DraftKings. That's a little. We talked about it. The Pacers, 25th against centers. If his shot's falling, he's a great play. Marc Gasol is going to be good for around 20 minutes and around 20 to 25 fantasy points. Dwight Howard is 3-4 on DraftKings. Now, he's only going to play 19 to 20 minutes. Could see a few more against Jokic and company, especially if McGee gets into some early foul trouble and they're trying to kind of ease back Anthony Davis's minutes. His last couple games, a 25 and a 30. He's got a 25 and a 26 in 2 of his last 3 against Denver. I love that 3-4 price tag on DraftKings. I think that's pretty safe. And then it's, Plumlee, Bol, Tony Bradley. If Gobert's out, Tony Bradley, of course. We saw it off the bench the other day. 22 minutes, put up a 43. That was in a starting role. That's when Utah rested all their players over the weekend. But that's about it. Boban could start for Dallas. There were some rumors he was going to start the other day. I think he did start, but then he played 7 minutes. If they unleash the Boban, sure, I'll take a shot at minimum salary on DraftKings and FanDuel, but not my first choice. So that's my early look at each position. Again, you can get access to all the research and my player pool as it updates throughout the day by clicking that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. When you do, how you would find my player pool, which you only get if you click that link. Got to use that personalized link. Then when you click on your watched players, you'll see a blue box at the top that says Watch DFS Bachelor's Picks. It also has a time in Eastern time. You can see 2:40 a.m. Eastern. We're up very late getting this done when it's been last updated. So, as news comes out throughout the day, again on Twitter at DFS Bachelor, the player pool will adjust. It'll get bigger. It'll get smaller. I'm a grower, not a shower after all, right? There you go, boys. So keep an eye on that. Then you can use it in the lineup optimizer. Again, that player pool gets updated for all the sports: NFL, NBA, NHL, and baseball. 3 of the 4 are going on right now. So I'm in this office way, way, way too much. And then when you put it, you can, it'll generate a lineup for you using my player pool or your own. And then you can go through, and if you want to edit some stuff, change some things around, that's what you do. Like if you're like, I don't want to pay that much for Jokic tomorrow. Totally get it. Maybe you want to come down to a Bam Adebayo at 7.9. Now you've got some extra salary. You just click the drop-down arrows here. Start going through players in green or players you can afford. Players in red, it's too expensive, so you'll have to change some shit up. Have some fun with it. Play with it. Don't play with it too much. If you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it. Maybe you're not comfortable with Pat Connaughton. Now we can get up here, and here's a Duncan. We can almost get to Tim Hardaway, everyone's favorite. Stuff like that. Leave some salary on the table, of course, in tournaments. That differentiates you from 90% of the field. There's a cash game optimizer there. Again, click the link. Try it for 30 days for $1. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you all so much. Hit that like button. I appreciate that. Congratulations again to our winner, our $25 PayPal winner, Fight Island. Hit me up. Let me know how to get that to you. May the fantasy gods be with you all. Big cheers to you all. Thank you all again so much for all your support. Hope you and your families are happy, healthy, safe. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. Hope you had a great weekend. And we'll see you tomorrow night for Tuesday's NBA video and Tuesday's WNBA as well. Thank you all again so much. Goodbye, folks.